The next few days pass by in a blur. I can't escape the school even on my weekend, as I trudge my ass through the dark and suburban streets and slink into my normal seat on the early metro. I contemplate how I got here. I groggily recall a conversation with Ben. He's going on about a golden shower or some such. I don't think I was so freaky. Seems really vanilla, ignoring his ball-busting GF. Actually, that tracks. Volcardera is slow to work as I stare out the window. The few scanned yellow irises flicker slowly out of existence as the morning approaches. What the hell does that mean? Yellow irises of what? I wouldn't describe streetlights or like buildings like that. I would describe people sitting in the subway with me, like they're falling asleep. In my brilliant planning, I spend most of the afternoon and night. Oh shit, I forgot to set it up to loop. Whoops. See, I'm not very smart sometimes. I spend most of the afternoon and night playing Vidya in a vain attempt to beat Rockring on Legendary. Listen, and in all timelines, that is your one real goal. That is why God put you on this earth. Just to beat Rockring on Legendary, no death. By the time I peered outside, it was already the dead of night, so I surmised that it would be better to stay up and tough it out. Pass down on you, stupid, selfish bastard. The only upside was that I Googled it, and yes, Olivia is more gator-like than croc-like, which you probably did when you were tired as hell and really should have been sleeping. Water preference aside, it's all in the snoot shape. You're not gonna call it a snout? Everyone keeps calling it a snout. It's like they're trying to avoid it. It's like, come on, man, nobody cares. When my stop comes, I've finally broken free from Hypnose's wily charms and finish my walk onto campus. Ooh. Sleep. We'll just have to wait. Gotta meet Ben and take some dumbass pictures of the sun. Checking my phone, I look back over our recent messages. Oh, you're up at several a.m. I forgot about that. Good morning, Anon. Hope you're ready to get the shot of a lifetime. Fuck yes. You shouldn't cuss so flippantly, Anon. My delirium. I'm pretty sure I almost typed. Listen here, you twink. But some primordial sense of social preservation stopped me. I don't want to pass it. I'll head to school soon. Good to hear. Mia will drop me off, close to our queue. Remember that sunrise is at 6:45, and you will need to be in the right place. Only a few minutes to get the shot. LOL! Of course he's one of those people that just tacks on uppercase LOL. Not even casual, not really serious, lowercase. No, he's straight up integrating it into the bigger thing. He's even using then as like a link, so that it's not just a standalone, like a period or something. Man is LOLing for realsies here. I send him a text. Front. Let me know when you're here. I sit back onto the metal railing. What do you mean back onto? Just sit on the metal railing. I sit on the metal railing. Like, again, you're calling attention to something that doesn't fucking matter and we don't know about. It's like really confusing when you do that. Don't do that. He just sits on the railing. Yeah, there is no back. Watching the parking lot, I look up and spy the last vestiges of the stars. Light pollution drives out most of the brilliance so close to the city. All I can think about rock bottom is the night sky. All the way, bumfuck. No, it was a prison some ways. But I miss those quiet nights leaning out the window to glimpse far-off worlds and wonder if it got better. It didn't, young me. Well, that's because you're a cishet. For the gays, it does in fact get better, and I'm sorry to tell you, buddy. Now might be a good time to figure something out about yourself. Turn that thing around. I pull out my phone, bring it to the camera, turn it down to get a passing photo. It's just black, the style's only dim further by the minute. Shit, I hope Ben bought an actual camera. Like something from Best Buy, fancy. My pocket buzzes and I've let my phone to read the notification. We're here. Sorry if I got to get close. No problem. N equals PNP, right? Looking to the lot, I hear Mia's whip screech. Whip? Why can't you just... It's like you wanted to write Mia's car, whip, and then comma, and then screech and drift. Although personally, I'm one for the Oxford comma, so... It's cherry... unless a car can be called a whip? I've never seen it used like that. New things. It's a cherry red muscle car that purrs, snorting and revving now and then as it idles. Why can't you... Why are you using this many fucking verbs in different forms? Just say it purrs, snorts, and revs every now and then as it idles. Or while idling. I don't know, it's like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too in the same sentence. It looks cool, though my knowledge and cause starts with GGA, including the made-up names. I saunter towards them, and Windows immediately exit to respond to my text. They may not see me in the darkness. It's because you don't have the light and the friendship, and the memories and the namine. You know. Ben exits the car, gingerly closing his door and shouldering a sizable duffel. Oh, Anon, ready to get it up? We do not have much time. Yeah, let's go. I was thinking we head out to that bitch at the campus. Really? Well, Ben was cut short, but me bleeding out of the passage with him.
You have fun, girls, and take care of my boy toy, will you, Anon?
I just know, trying to hide how flustered the words make me. Man, I messed up. Can I get one of those golden showers, Ben? I need to wash up. Wait, no, that's fuck. I'd live this.
That's why you're my favorite skinnies. Oh, she needs to pinch his cheek, and then say capiche.
He immediately flips on the radio, blaring Black Betty before blowing an air kiss at Ben and then peeling out. Mia, drive safely! Ben yells after her, but there's no way the hellion hears it. He sighs and turns to me. Why can't he sigh and turn? Like, I feel like you could make this work better by just saying he sighs and let it be a standalone sentence so it has some gravitas. Or he sighs and turns like he's just quickly moving on. But this... I don't know, it's like you're forsaking the emphasis and the smoothness of the scene to create a more of a, like you're stumbling through sentences. Everything has to happen before something, I guess. The bench at the field, not what I would have chosen, but let's consider this your masterpiece. You should have emphasized that, your man. You should have put a real big emphasis on that like an asshole. Jackass Ben. I'll just be your mule in an extra pair of hands, and also judging you quietly from the shadows. Thanks. I don't have much in my... I'm just going with my gut. You know, post-legendary run gut. The little dork's extremely spry. Wait. We quickly jog across the campus when Ben points out how little time we have left. I'm carrying the equipment bag. The little dork is extremely spry and easily outpaces me. By the time I catch up, he's begun assembling this telescopic tripod like a soldier putting his firearm back together. That's a nice one. That's a really good one, actually, the comparisons. Like, this sentence does so much heavy lifting. Anon isn't very athletic, Ben is dedicated and knows his stuff, etc. Harder words you'd make Ben that athletic, but I think the idea is more that Anon just sucks ass. In the few minutes we have left, Ben points out some... Again, here's the thing, right? You can change the sentence and keep the same vibe by Anon talking about himself being poor instead of him being spry. You know, that way it feels less like Ben has this quality and more like Anon has a quality. It's really subtle stuff, but that's what writing is all about! People say writing is easy. People say painting is you just put some colors in the paint. It's like, man, once you learn about how color theory works and how a slight subtle hue change can do stuff, you start to realize that maybe you should just eat a dictionary. Just devour it all. It's a bit dry, but you'll get to it eventually. In the few minutes we have, let Ben point out some key features and a few quirks of the camera, like the sticky zoom and irregular focus. Okay, Anon, pretend I'm not here. Find your moment. Only you can. There should have been a semicolon, I feel. Or a colon, I don't know. Not a comma. Because these are basically the same sentence, if you put a linking word in there. Jesus, guys, dramatic. I'm gonna see the sun, click a button, maybe multiple times, just to be sure. Well, technically, you're supposed to take a bunch of shots. You know, less room for error. That's kind of like doing a bunch of sketches and some exploratory drawing, you know. She's like, okay, listen, a very important part of this painting is this one guy in the light. I'm gonna draw him a bunch of times to see what works. You know, some rough sketches, throw some paint on and see what sticks. The final minutes pass slowly as Ben sinks into the background. To set up my shot, there's a bench on the edge of the school, weather-worn but otherwise unused. It faces towards a chain-link fence on a pseudo-cliff, which itself overlooks Volcadera, and in the distance, the Chaparral Hills. I found out that Chaparral's like a biome you have in California or something. How quaint. I wonder what that meant. And it's a word, and what a word. What a cool word. However, I have issues with this cliff. The way the school is presented is that it's either at the bottom of hills, or it's on flat ground, and like it should not be anywhere near a cliff. It is just like nestled away in the trees. Which I guess I get it, right? Because the way that Volcano High presents itself, because you're on the rooftop a bunch of times, and Fang falling off the roof is important, and it has a view of the town. Oh, that's my headset making sound, okay. Just clicks whenever I... Why does that? Who knows? Volcano High, because of how it's positioned and how you engage with it, does feel like it's on a cliff or like located, you know, it breathes a certain way because of your verticality. Because you're on the roof. It feels tall or near a cliff or something because of all those details add up. But with this, with St. Hammond, it really does feel like a small, flat school because we never see much more of it than this small, flat school. So putting it on a fucking cliff, no! Just don't. Just do something else. They don't have to be at fucking school to do this, man. They can be anywhere else. As the sort of gravities of the weight, a pressure that seems to cling to me. Maybe that might just be the wet heat coming on. I mean, dew and everything. Ben's just gotten in my head. Really just waiting. Then it happens. The burning orange splits the sky from the land and radiates up in bright, brilliant pastel pinks, purples, and blues. The light dusting of clouds wisp across the sky. Where do those come from? Shouldn't they already be there? Refracting the light even further. I don't like this description at all. Do you want to know why? Because it's so fucking disconnected from Anon. Like, Anon isn't the kind of person who would talk like this, for one. I don't think Anon is the kind of person to talk colorfully about things. I think because of how Anon works, he can't describe things artistically, but he can describe his own emotions, and we don't get that. I feel like because Anon is this blunt, underdeveloped, emotionally stunted idiot, he should talk about how he suddenly feels this bursting emotion in his chest. Like how his mind is suddenly at a loss for words. Instead, he has words! Also, I've read stories, and they have, like, descriptions like these really overwritten purple prose garbage, and it's like, I'm at a loss for words. No, you're not! I just read 5 fucking paragraphs of you describing some guy's fucking wart! You are not at a loss for words! You asshole! Like, I get it, but I feel like you should focus on Anon. This is Anon's moment. It's not about the fucking picture! Also, we do this exact same scene a few minutes later. What are you doing? Focus on Anon. Focus about the moment. Describe to us what is changing in this man's fucking head. We're in a first-person perspective. Use it! This is third-person rookie garbage. I stand in awe of the sight. A radiant, orange semicircle quickly... I don't care. I'm supposed to take a fucking picture. Whoops. Also, why would anything smell of anything? You're in a town, if anything, it just smell like lightly foggy? Smoggy? Or maybe like the nearby trees and plants. I wouldn't know. My nose is fucking hot garbage. Trash to your nose I've got. Probably why I don't appreciate a lot of fancier foods is because it just straight up can't taste well. Because your factory system is both. Turn my attention to the camera quickly. Zoom out more. Ah, shit. See, this is fun. First person garbage. It's someone freaking out, and you get that sensation because that's how he thinks. Again, if you stand in awe, I guess that's what this is. But then don't describe this. Then just say you stand there for a while and let me decide for myself how I feel about it. Or just go that way. Like, describe the moment where Anon looks upon the sun and suddenly it clicks. Suddenly he realizes what it means to appreciate something. To look at a sunset and really feel it. That Ben's words made sense. And he felt lost. For once, he did not feel like a little idiot standing in the middle of nowhere. He felt an observer to a grand cosmic event. But we don't get that. It's it's just something Anon wouldn't say. And I don't know. This is a cruxical character moment, and it doesn't get the emotional touch. It's too descriptive about the world. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that is the point. It might just be that the whole point's, look, Anon doesn't talk like this, and he's describing the world like this. I mean, we did have these fucking things where he's like clearly not that vocabularistic. Although I feel if you want to pull that off, you gotta be way more careful, and you should not use words like chaparral. Anon is not someone who uses the word fucking chaparral. Which is the problem, right? If you want to do stuff like this, you really need to write your characters extremely carefully. If you want to use word choice this nuanced, you can't fuck around, man! You can't describe tripods as telescopic. That's just a tripod. That's all Anon knows. Because he's a simple little boy. And then when this shows up, we're like, oh, that's kind of fucking weird. And maybe you lead into it a little bit. Like, again, I feel like you really should just spell this out. I know a lot of people tell you show, don't tell. But the showing is in the cake, right? Also, who the fuck describes themselves as standing in awe of sight? Like, come on, man. Ben is the one yelling at you here. Come on, man, it's just the sunrise. Which is ironic, because Ben was the one who was all about that. Do you want to take another one? That's good. Ben sidles up next to me and squints at the photo. And on the edges came up, bloody. And look, chromatic aberration here and here. That's not a... Is that a chromatic aberration, Rex? I'm pretty sure that's like a whole... You know. If you hurry until you can delete that one and get another try. Well, you don't have fucking space for a second picture? You're the one who told me to take multiple! He moves to delete the display, but I pull it away from him. It's fine. I like it. The thought of Ben erasing it makes me feel like it'd kill my child. I find myself... I feel like you should include this earlier. Listen... Like, I get what you're trying to do here, but you are really cart horse and, like, wrong horse. How would I do this? How would I do this? I think I would just have Anon stand there for a moment. Like, he just stands there and he takes a few pictures and he doesn't fucking care. And then he looks at the pictures and he's like, you know, god damn it, I'm here, I might as well. And he tries a little harder and he actually looks at the sunset. And it's that moment where he clicks. Like, he actually has to try. He actually tells himself to care. And he looks. And finally, the colors are there. It's not that he's looking at something that's orange. He feels that orange in his heart and his soul. I know that's cheesy, but you're writing a fucking artist. You can't cheat on that shit. That's what artists are, you dumb motherfucker. So, you write him, like, finally realizing, because he's frustrated. Maybe he's just like, ugh, none of these pictures feel like anything. And he puts his heart into it. And for once, he saw and felt the sunrise, and he captured it in a picture. It's a shitty picture, but to him, that picture is that first moment. And that's why he does this. Like, he does it to Ben, and maybe he's a little more erratic. Like, he suddenly slaps Ben's hand because he's a little panicked, because he's like, I want this feeling forever. This is a majestic feeling. This is where things will start to change in some way. Also, I saw a review, right? I saw someone review Wani Gator, and they gave the criticism of, like, isn't it weird that, like, if you take the right answers, the story goes a really good way, and then at the end they just fucking shut up and make a big fucking mess if you don't get the... Like, they really felt like the point system was kind of working contrary to what the game was trying to do, and that it had to make... I don't know if he's right, because I haven't played the game in a while. But, you know, I can see that being a problem with certain choice-based games, that... it does... Is it this bad, really? Come on, man, we had a good time. It wasn't that bad, was it? Like, you know, people shouldn't have to psychoanalyze characters to get a vibe check like that. Which is a problem if you, again, do a choice-based game where everything resolves at once, effectively. Where the whole plot really only does the thing at the end. Oh, man. Alright, let's just move on. I don't like the scene, is the problem. Actually, let me go into that review a little more. Ah, shit. The person did start to talk about, like, hey, listen. That's not what the review said though. Please note I'm paraphrasing here. They went into the idea of like you can have a character have character progression and then corrupt that progression down the line. They make the right conclusions, but they go the wrong direction. Anon, for example, discovers that he does like being around people, that he does want to be the social person, but also becomes panicked and nervous that he can't maintain that relationship. You know, that kind of idea. And he felt that Wani didn't do that. And that's why he got kind of upset. It's like, the story is clearly about, like, the development of a person and the corruption thereof, but it doesn't give itself the design space to really explore that idea. Or, God, what was the line again? I think it was something like, God, what was it? I think it was like, I would rather have two endings and one of them is the good ending and one is the bad ending, and the whole point is, like, the contrast between the two, than to have four endings and two of them I don't care about. I forgot if he liked ending one or two more. I could see someone going like ending one is better because it's more you fucked up, but it's also way too dramatic. Ending two feels way more realistic for what the characters do. I don't know. I saw it. I forgot it. God damn it. Let's just move on. I don't like this scene. I don't like this moment. I feel like it could have been better. I feel like you could have. What is with these fucking fic authors and being so terrified of describing emotions? For fuck's sake, it's the first person perspective. The emotional insight into a character is like the reason you're doing it. Oh my god. But yeah, Anon's doing the thing. Again, if he just pulls it away, right? You can do that, but that's a third-person thing. Especially non-omniscient. Is in third-person non-omniscient, you want to have that sense of like, I wonder why he's doing this. Okay, you must be impressed. But if you're already in Anon's head, there is no mystery, so you might as well just fucking yap it. Be a fucking yapper, come on. And describe it in a way that makes me go, that's nice writing. That's why writing is hard. God, I just want to play more Ashes, the Afterglow, because fuck, man. There's a reason I took this reason. I just don't want to do this shit anymore. This is miserable. Like, I'm reading that Infamous one, and I'm like, at times it slips up, but it really is way more confident in what it's trying to do and how to do it. Yes, the karma thing is kind of fucking cheesy, but on some level, I kind of like the cheese. You know, it's like a good Gouda. Like a nice spicy cheddar. Maybe I should just do that one, since it's apparently the one that I actually fucking like. God damn. Again. Okay, listen. Hold up. Let me just stop you. You know what you do when you're in first-person perspective, or even in third-person, any perspective. When Anon says this, you include a little paragraph, right? And that paragraph is, why? Like, to us, it's obvious. But you're not writing fucking Shakespeare, man. Actually, you are writing Shakespeare, because Shakespeare was written for the theater, and therefore, you know, there are certain limitations of the medium as well as the audience, so you had to... Point is, after this, you want to have... Just write a fucking paragraph. You can get a paragraph back by stop writing the bullshit that I don't care about. And you write a paragraph that's... Or two, maybe two, and you write about Anon. Why does he care? He's reflecting, like, why? I don't care about fucking pictures. Up until this moment, I never cared about a picture. I never cared about art. Art was just like, pretty picture. And now I hold onto this camera, and there's a picture inside of the camera, and I can't delete it. Why? That's cute. That's character development. And I don't get it. And it makes me so mad. This is worse than Naruto. I'm reading Naruto. And, like, goddamn, that fight tournament arc is so stupid. I don't care about these fucking people. You're just crowbarring in character development. Stop! I barely care about Naruto. Kind of cute that he does the cool little trick for the Akamaru fight. That's cute. That's neat. But I really care more about Sasuke and Sakura because they have shit to worry about. Naruto's just fucking around the whole damn time. God damn. I also like the Bugman. He's fucking weird. And I like Rock Lee. You know, people with something to fucking do. Instead of an asshole who's just clowning. He hit a dog! Probably. I forgot if he actually hit the dog. A lot of weird stuff happens. My dog is a ninja tool. Also, I never knew how bad flashbacks could get in fucking manga. Holy shit, man. You're backfilling your character development, are you? It's so... Like, I get it. It's... For the medium, for people who are more familiar with it, it's apparently more normal. But holy shit. To a Westerner, the idea of this kind of indirectness cracks me up. I'm going to show you so hard why this moment matters. So hard. I'm going to backfill everything. I can see why that guy said that it was a meh chapter. Because it's trying to do a lot of what the previous chapter did, the forest scene, without really earning it. People are standing in a fucking room for an hour. Like, god damn, that's lame. Jesus. Making it easy on your background artist, are you? It feels like a filler chapter in a funny way. Like, it's one location, a lot of random characters get involved. It's just weird. Maybe that's why the flashbacks happen, so they can have a different background. Because they do stuff with that. Which is the weird part, right? Like, they want their Sakuga. Maybe. It's hard to say, but I like this. No. I feel like everything should be in that. I feel like everything should be emphasized here. But the contrast, because Anon doesn't normally like things. Anon doesn't normally like things. Anon doesn't normally like things. And Anon doesn't normally like things. Especially not something he made himself. He's sooner to criticize his own work and go like, I can only draw stick figures. Which is funny because he does draw a pretty dang good sketch of Olivia, all things considered, considering he's not an artist. I'm just saying, man. Guy's got potential. He has a self-satisfied look. Oh. Why shouldn't, like, here's the thing, right? The thing worth pointing out is that when you go to the wedding scene, it takes a lot of pictures over good pictures, and that's like half of the fucking character point, is like, Ben is quantity over quality, whereas Inko is quality. And that should be emphasized a little more in this. Like, you should have taken more shots, and Ben starts to, like, teach Anon, like, listen, I understand what you're doing here, but, you know, if you took more shots, you would have had some choice. You know, I feel like you could make Ben look and sound a bit more arrogant. A bit more like he thinks he knows what he's doing. I don't know. It would have been a cute character scene. That's all I'm saying. Also, something I've learned from actually reading actual writing is that very often, writing will either just do hard dialogue or hard descriptive text. And man, does that flow way better than shifting between shit like a fucking loser. God, I'm learning. And then I'll learn that it's not true, because life is cyclical. And everything you learn is cyclical. In stupid, silly little ways that make you go, duh? God, I wish I could do that. Duh? Satan, I have but one question. One mild request. Can you teach me the art of saying, duh? Properly. Firstborn. Promise. Do you mind helping me out with my shot? Luckily, it's hardly so time-sensitive. But it's fitted done sooner rather than later. Yeah, of course. Where are we headed? But leads me across campus to... I don't care about the scene. It's just him taking some shots. Again, Anon is describing a bunch of stuff, and I feel like this... You could emphasize that Anon thinks this is weird, right? You can have Anon point out, isn't it kind of weird that I suddenly care about how things look? Or maybe he doesn't, and it's like we have a slower, more gradual boil. I don't know, man. Maybe Anon's just stuck in his own head and he isn't paying attention. Like, he sits down for the shot and... I don't know. This is also really weird for Ben to do. Because, again, Ben's whole character is taking one. This feels like you're shortcutting character development. They've met, like, for a week. Ben should be more skeptical of Anon's skills and ideas. Especially given everything else that so far happened. Anon doesn't even have a fucking camera. Also, like, I don't know what to tell you, man, but, like, avoid this. I get it, right? I get that you're trying to describe this stuff, but I come to realize you shouldn't do this. It just doesn't work. Unless you really know what you're doing, but then you're talking about shit that no one who reads this will understand if they don't know the same stuff. Like, that's the problem with the expert insight, is you kind of have to dumb your shit down in a way. You have to explain it to a rubber duckling. And I guess this is a way to do it, but Why would Anon be able to identify the complex lighting? He's just started taking pictures. Like, have him be exploratory. Have him think through things. Like, he takes a look at it and he goes, I don't know why, but this picture just feels more dynamic. More depth-filled. And as he looks, he might identify, like, you know, the lighting is a bit more complex. Like, the way there are different shadows and light streaks on my face creates a sense of depth. Something like that. Something that gives a sense of connection that he's trying to figure... I don't know, man. There's a reason I stopped. And I'm seriously starting to wonder if I should just stop permanently, because, man... Oh. Goddamn.